Giving your macaw medicine by hiding it in food. These are a few of the tricks that we have picked up over the years, and hopefully it's helpful. I know it can be very stressful even when your macaw is sick, so just try and be calm, and I'm sorry you have to go through that. I'm not a vet. These are just some of the things that have worked for me, and you do have to be very careful if you're syringe feeding your bird. If you don't have experience doing that, you should learn about it, because if it's too liquidy or it goes in too fast, they can aspirate, basically choke, but it can be very serious because it can lead to an infection that's very difficult to cure. These are 3 milliliter syringes. I find cutting the end off helps. You can get these at most drugstores, especially ones that have a compounding pharmacy in it, or from your vet. I cut the end off because I find the pressure builds up too much, and you'll see how I modify this. I find with the end on, it just restricts it too much and it builds up pressure, and it's really difficult. You can use an exact baby formula. Most macaws will like that. We use ground pellets. Just about any ground pellet will work. We've used Harrison's, all different kinds. We use a burr coffee grinder that's never been used for coffee. You can't give any kind of caffeine to your birds, so we make sure it's never been used. This is the consistency we aim for on the finest grind. Ours absolutely love the exact baby formula. The reason we don't use it is because if you have to give them medicine for a long time, it can be fairly fattening for them. So that's why we use the pellets. Here I am warming up a ramekin with hot water. And then I'm adding some cold water. And then I'm going to check it with my finger and make sure. But it's nice that the ramekin gets heated up to help keep it warm. I find they like it when it's a little warm. Stir it up and try and get a consistency about what you see here coming up. It will thicken over time too, so you just have to kind of play with it. It's good to practice a bit first, just so you know how much it's going to thicken up. Once I've put the medicine in it, I would just add hot water to the little shot glass that I have, just a tiny bit at a time. If it does get too thick, or encourage your macaw to eat it out of a spoon. If you have more than one bird, like we do, only one bird's getting medicine, but we're giving the same thing to both birds. They tend to have a flock behavior, so if one bird's doing it, the other bird's more likely to do it. So I just put medicine in one of these shot glasses. As you can see, I'm mixing it with the syringe and squirting it out, trying to make sure I've got a good consistency. It's fairly thick. It's a little on the thick side, but it's workable. It doesn't really matter as much if you're putting it in a spoon. Fortunately, the medicine we're using doesn't taste too bad, so it's fairly easy to give them. That's another quick tip too. Taste the medicine that you're giving your bird, just a little taste, and then if it's really bitter, then you might need some more help from a compounding pharmacist, or you might have to take more steps to cover up the flavor. That noise you hear in the background, that's Jasmine. She makes that noise usually, and she'll make that noise, and then Thumper will regurgitate into her mouth, and they'll do that back and forth, which is another thing to keep an eye on. Once you've given your macaws the medicine, separate them, because they may do a little food exchange. I think it's good to make up this mush, and they like eating it. It can kind of be a bonding experience. It can be a really convenient way to feed them sometimes if you're traveling, or if a bird's a little sick, they're more apt to eat something they like. So if you're trying to encourage eating, it could help. Here's Jazz taking it with the syringe. We've done this many times, so she knows what to expect. I'm being very careful not to put it in too fast for her. I scrape the last bit out with my finger and stick it on the back of her bill, and she gobbles it up because she likes it. I make sure my hands are clean, obviously. Some people probably wouldn't recommend this, but something we do. Once again, I'm really sorry if your bird's sick. Seek advice from your vet. I was just hoping to give a couple tips that we picked up, and hopefully it can be a bit of a helpful video for you guys. Thank you.